the strobe version of the Federal Signal Vista light bar. Possibly one of my least favorite light bars ever. Let's take a look at it and find out why. This particular light bar has a center rotator, 8 upper deck strobes, lower intersection sweeps, lower flashers front and rear, takedowns and alleys. As you can see, the strobe modules actually stick to the upper dome, which is an interesting use of space and not necessarily as in of itself a problem, although I will say if you strip out the screw that holds them there, you're out of luck. The bottom deck is arranged much like the halogen version and is a pretty good use of space. The strobe supplies are not my favorite, but they're Federal Signal, and they were never really a strobe company. I suppose they do well enough. Someone added an extra mirror to the center to avoid clear to the rear, which is fine with me. And you can see this is a dual power supply bar. I believe it's the Ricochet era of power supply, 2 4-head supplies. And then you've got a halogen flasher that powers both the front and rear flashers at the same time. That could be changed to be front or rear. In this case, it does both. So taking a look at the reflector, that's my main problem with these bars. The bottom lip that you can see there is actually reflective. So this sort of scoop-shaped, wedge-shaped reflector and spreader lens combo is reflective on the bottom, and it just sucks in ambient light. Sunlight hitting this particular bar from the top, which it did, and you couldn't really black it out because of how slanted the front and back of the bar are, it just scooped it right into the light heads and washed them out. And there was really nothing you could do to prevent that because, like I said, the slanted nature of the bar meant even a blackout on the top didn't actually black out over these reflector assemblies. Now compare that to a similar era whale and edge reflector. This is all within an I-beam, so the light couldn't even come down this far because it's angled. But if it did, that's the amount you would get. Even in this dome here, you can see straight down from the top where it would be covered in the edge, or the similar reflector be covered in the edge. Here it just comes right in and just washes it all out. The Vista had some potential. It was an MX7000 clone in my opinion, but the staggered rotators like the Street Hawk really gave it an advantage. In a halogen format, you had a lot more side warning power due to it being staggered. The MX Strobe came out around the same time, and while it was also awful for different reasons, at least it wasn't unable to be blacked out on top. So what would the benefit be to this over the strobe version of the MX if you absolutely had to have a strobe dual level bar? I just don't see any. I think you could argue a halogen Vista versus a halogen MX. There would be advantages because the options are similar and there's some layout things that might make the Vista superior. The strobe version I just can't find a reason why it would be better than any of the things it competes with. So like I had mentioned, my big complaint is the washout from the reflector. This is in high power, the most rapid pursuit rate flash pattern, and this is a 1-cell streamlight, and you can't even see the flash of the strobe at all anymore. And that's not just the video. In person as well, that strobe is gone. And the sun is a lot brighter than my single cell streamlight. So you can kind of see the problem here. They act like a scoop. They are reflective on that bottom surface. So as the light comes in there, it essentially illuminates the whole thing. And it just makes it 100% ineffective. And in the sun, the tops of these bars were essentially out of the equation, just not effective at all. So what about in the dusk, let's say, or cloudy day? Well, if you flip on your other options, which were great, by the way, the center rotator, the sweeps, the flashers, that takes away too. If you can see, the intersection sweeps are actually going up, reflecting off the inside of the dome, and washing out the reflectors as well. So the front rotator is white or clear, which washes a lot of things out. So that not included, just those intersection sweeps are essentially taking the corner strobes out of the picture solely by their washout upwards, reflecting off the inside of the dome back into the reflectors. So the extra lower options that made this bar supposedly a better bar than just an edge essentially destroy it. So that's why this is my least favorite bar of all times. It could have been so much, but it is not. I do like the halogen version. So comments down below, let me know what you think. Obviously, this bar gave way to the Argent line, which was a mainstay of the LED era and a perfectly fine bar. So something did come of it, and like I said, I did like the halogen version. So comments down below, like and subscribe if you would, and have a great day.